how to navigate peace through a shitstorm of your life. And I think that a lot of people right now in 2024 are going through major shifts, major breakdowns, major changes, alterations in a lot of different aspects of their life, or one particular aspect of their life, or all aspects of their life. And I wanted to do this video because I'm seeing it everywhere with a lot of people that I'm speaking with, including myself. And just making sure that, people that are looking for how do I manage this chaos in this time. And the biggest thing in order to manage this chaos, no matter what you're going through in this time, is to have a deep sense of self. And in order to do that, you have to. And I'm telling you guys, you might not want to hear this. You might not want to even listen to this. But what I'm going to say is it's imperative that you go within. Because the more grounded you are in yourself, the more centered you are in yourself, then you are going to be able to manage the outside circumstances so much better. Because you have a trusting within that no matter what, everything is going to work out. So some of the deep practices that I have to do on a daily basis, or at least almost every day, is to ground myself in some fashion. So for me, and I'm just giving you guys suggestions because every single person can create whatever feels good for them in the sense of connecting with yourself, and everybody could be different. So for me, every day, it is taking even 5-10 minutes to meditate. But prior to meditation is I journal. And journaling just gets out all of the frustration, the anger, the fear, because what a lot of people are feeling right now is fear, because there's such an uprise from the positive and the negative, and there's just a clash right now. There's a war going on. There's literally a war of the minds right now, and the evil is trying to take over our mind, our life, our world. And if we allow it, then that fear is just going to literally surround our whole body. It's going to invoke every aspect of our life. And so I really feel that if we have a knowledge of that, we can tap in and know that we can change those circumstances. And the only way to do that is to get quiet and to really get close with your inner self. And so many people are disconnected. And so if you feel like you are just so in a space of mental chaos and everything is starting to go awry in your life, you're not the only one. Many of us are going through that because the world is going through that. And these shifts are happening because we're in a time of ascension. And whether you believe that's woo-woo or not, we'll just take a look around. Look around. All the countries are going through different things. There's so much hatred that's arising. And that's just centuries upon centuries of low energy and negative thinking and negative, hateful, evil things that have been going on that has to come to the surface so that we can abolish it and get rid of it. So right now, we're just at this pivotal point of absolute and complete transformation of the whole entire planet. But everything is connected. We're all energy. So that means that we are going through these major shifts within ourselves so that we really get to know ourselves better. And a lot of us are being forced to get to know ourselves better. And during the middle of COVID, when everything was shut down and people were, alone and by themselves, so many people awoke during that time to really getting to know themselves better because they really had no other choice. So either some people broke or some people chose to go within. So journaling really helps to get through a lot of these frustrations and just get everything out, venting it out. And I think it's a very positive way to direct your energy, because when we're journaling and we're getting everything out, then we have a higher perspective of maybe how to change and shift things, rather than venting consistently to friends, family members, especially social media or other outlets, that really you're invoking more of that negativity. Because when you are venting and consistently talking about the negative, then you're just going to consistently get more negative back. And we're all guilty of that. We're all guilty of, getting stuff out, but a lot of us are consistently complaining and living in that negative, so that there is no room for the positive, because that's all that we are bringing back to us. It's just so much more negativity. So by just journaling and focusing on the journaling aspect, getting everything out, and then after you've done journaling, the next thing I want you to do, it sounds like I'm telling you what to do when I'm not. I'm suggesting. The next thing that I like to do after I vented and wrote everything out that is going on within my mind, my body, what's keeping me up at night, then what I do is I start to write down what I'm grateful for. And sometimes this takes a bit. And this isn't just like, I know a lot of people will say, your cup of coffee and da 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 da. Write down some really meaningful things that you really truly are grateful for. People that have maybe done some really nice things for you. People at work that, you enjoy being around, or people in your life you enjoy being around, or things that made you smile with your kids. Like, just start writing those gratitude things down. Because after we've just vented and all these emotions and feelings, then we're feeling a bit raw. We're feeling a bit, vulnerable, and we don't want to stay in that state. We want to completely shift our state into seeing what is beautiful out there. And there are so many things to be beautiful. So at the same time as, all these negative things are happening, at the same time, there is contrast. And so there is just as many beautiful things and wonderful, positive things that are happening. So it's essential for you to just start writing down everything that makes you feel good, all the things that you're grateful for. And then I do a third list of just this is brief. Like, this doesn't have to be like, half an hour long. This can be like a few things, but getting to the feeling state of it as well. Then I just start to write, what are my intentions for this week or this day? What is my intentions for this day that's going to brighten my day in just the littlest fashions? And when we start to write that down, that, again, changes the state. It starts to make us feel good. And then I get into a meditation, because all that stuff is out. All the things I need to do, all the things that have been just clogging my mind and keeping me up at night, then I can just really relax my mind and I can get into a meditation. And then that way I can really center myself, because I'm listening to my heartbeat. I'm just getting in touch with myself. My phone is not in the room at all. If it is, it's completely shut off. But I usually prefer to have it not in the room at all. And I just disconnect for that time being, so that I can just find peace within myself. If you're lucky enough to be someone that is really close to nature and you can do that every morning while you're meditating, then that's really going to connect you even more. And then, it's important to start finding a tribe of people that have the same, thoughts about what they want to create for themselves and for the world. And somebody that's not complaining all the time, somebody that's not, dragging you down, somebody that's not just in a negative flow. Because I think that's also shifting, like our tribe of friends and people, even if you've been friends with them for, 30, 40, maybe 50 years, and you are shifting, you are becoming a different person. It's really imperative for you to find people that are already in that space of mind, of peace, and they feel that connection with themselves. Because then, sometimes when we kind of get out of that, we get into the 3D, which is like all the chaos and everything that's going on here. We take, which in our imagination, the 4D, we bring it into the 3D, and we can create such amazing things in our lives. And so to connect with those people is really, really important. And that's why we're seeing a lot of relationships shift, because you're seeing one person that is on the spiritual journey and they want to connect more with themselves and they want to be a better version of themselves and they want to create a really positive life. And then the other person is so wrapped up and focused in the 3D world of all the negativity and the chaos and all of that. And they're just tumbling down. They are spiraling out of control. But what I've seen is that it's kind of one or the other. A lot of those people don't even want to look inwards because it is hard. It is difficult. It's hard to look at our shadow self, and especially when we're working on who we are and wanting to be a better version of ourselves. Sometimes when we're looking at the shadow version of ourselves, that's the part of ourselves that we don't want to see, we don't want to acknowledge, we don't want to heal because it's too painful. But the more we become grounded in with ourselves and we start to surround ourselves with more positive people, then we can really tune into what it is we want and who we really are, which is a version of ourselves that has always been there, but has been just so stored down. So allowing our brightness to shine through, allowing our light to shine super bright, because most of us have been dulling our light for so long. So I wanted to bring this up to you guys because just personally, there's so much going on in my life that for a lot of people, they would be so distraught and they would be so in a state of chaos. But because I've really honed in on these practices, especially lately, the more the chaos is going on outside of your life, like on the outside world, the more important and imperative it is to get centered and find your center and do the things that bring you joy and to get quiet within yourself. So if you've never established a meditation practice before, this is the time. This is the time. But I really believe not only in meditation, but I do believe in prayer, because I believe, especially over the years of watching and reading so many books, like the science behind prayer, there's so much to that. And the more we actually, realize that there's so much power behind prayer, it's absolutely important not important for everybody, because if you don't feel that way, then it can't make you. I'm going to say is important to me in what I've seen. And even, I've read books like The Intention Experiment by Dr. Lynn McTaggart. Dr. Lynn McTaggart. And I know I've said in other videos, but I love listening and watching to near-death experiences. And there's so many times I've listened to different near-death experiences and people that had, their heart stopped or they were in a car accident and they left their body and they were able to hear the prayers of other people and how it really does affect you. Same as negativity, and then they could, the negativity that affects them. And so we are all connected, and positive energy, prayer really does affect us in a positive way. So, and it has nothing to do, I don't feel like, with just religion, because I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual person, but I believe in prayer, I believe in meditation, I believe in just being so thankful for all the good that's in our life and really allowing that to shift my state when I'm in one of those negative states. And then, because I am older and I've had a lot of experiences in my life and the spiritual experiences, that I'm also in a place where I trust. So I trust in the divine source. I trust in God. I trust in spirit. I trust that things are going to work out if I listen to my intuition and my internal guidance. So, I believe that there's always guidance for us. And so many, again, we're disconnected from ourselves and from listening to that intuition, just because of the world we live in. And again, I think that with the food that we're taking in, the chemicals that we're taking in is disconnecting us on a big level. And so the other thing that a lot of people don't want to hear, and I've been a nutrition coach, holistic nutrition coach, mind body coach for over 2 decades. And the one thing that, people are so wanting to take some kind of pill or drug to fix a problem rather than looking at their nutrition, which can solve so many issues. And also that all of the nutrition that you're putting in your body, all the food that you're putting in your body, I shouldn't just say nutrition, the food that you're putting in your body holds an energy and a frequency. So when you're putting in low frequency foods, processed foods, junk food, high processed sugars, any type of grains. I know we're going to do a lot of videos on this here soon, you guys, because not just the glyphosates, and the glyphosates are such a huge, 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 huge problem for not just adults, but massively for kids and for babies and pregnant moms. But the grains that we're intaking are not like the grains they were 50, 60 years ago. And that is affecting our intestines, which affects our mind, which affects our whole body. And so those, if you're going through depression, if you're going through, massive mood swings, if you're going through, just periods of really feeling low or a lot of anxiety, get off the grains. There's so many things that you can do to help you. I'm really just developing a PDF right now, a free PDF to try to help people like catapult that journey so that they can get on the right foot and, start to take in better quality food that has higher vibration and a higher energy to it. And this isn't me saying that you need to go vegan at all, because I do believe that every person is different, and I think that some people really require meat. And now I'm very particular at the meat, like organic, local, like I definitely do that. But I live in Canada, and so for me in the winter, I found that fall and winter, I do, for my body, I like to take in meat because I feel that that is what I feel best with. Now, every person is different. And again, it's really important that the more you get grounded and centered with yourself, you're going to discover what works best for you. You're going to discover that intuitively that might not work. You might say that I'm a vegan or I'm a vegetarian. And we need to stop with the hate with that, like somebody's a carnivore, somebody's a vegan, and we're hating on each other. And I think that if something works for you, then you need to go with that. And guess what? In 5 years' time, you might completely change your mind and realize this isn't working for me anymore, and I need to try this, or I need to do this, or I need to eliminate this. And that's part of our journey. And so we need to be kinder to other people, and we need to allow people to be on their journey, especially if they're on the journey of wanting to be better and wanting to be healthier. Then we can't be judging, because I've seen so many people go from one polar end to the other, and then all the friends that they had on this end now are mad at them, and and that's just like ridiculous. Like, we just need to be loving to one another and respect the journey that they're on. And also just be open. I feel that people are more willing to change if you are guiding them through love, and if you are speaking through experience and love. No one is going to change their mind. Nobody is going to transform. Even if you love them, you're like, you need to do this, and you need to eat this way. Because when we're coming in from a position and an energy of anger, hatred, forcefulness, that person is going to back up. That person is going to reject what you are saying. There's no way that person is ever going to listen. And that's why, we have all these angry people. This person is like, so like, you have to do it this way, and you have to do it this way. And it's like coming through it from an aspect of love and experience. And people are more willing to listen to you at that point because there's an energy behind everything, right? Everything is energy, like I said. So it's really important to become more in tune with yourself and focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Don't worry about what your neighbors are doing. Don't worry about what your brothers and sisters are doing. Don't worry even what your spouse is doing. Because the more we put our attention outside of ourselves and start to be angry and to be stressed at what they're doing, while our whole body is breaking down, while our whole nervous system is complete mess, then we can never heal. We're actually creating a cyclical damage within our family unit because there's nobody that's grounded for our kids. There's nobody that's grounded within the relationship. So focus on yourself, become more connected with yourself, discover and really reconnect with your intuition, because we all have it, and your purpose and your life's work and what makes you happy and what fills you up. And then your kids are going to see that. Kids don't react by what you tell them or what you say. They react from the energy that is in your home and the energy and how they feel and what they're seeing with their eyes. So that's very critical. And then whoever else is living in your home too is going to see that and start to shift. So I know I kind of get on a bit of a tangent, but it's all really important and all encompassing, because that all, like, the outside world also has to do with our kids and our partners or whoever else is living in our home that is affecting us. So because there could be a lot of craziness. And so unless you are going to go within and find that grounding and find your center amongst the chaos, you're never going to come through that okay. Well, I shouldn't say never, because in the future you could figure that out. But what I'm saying is that right now in 2024, there's a massive shift that's happening on the planet, a massive energy shift, and it's going to get even more wild over the next 2 years. So it's important for right now that you redirect your energy and whatever is going on in your life, so that when things get worse, if they do, they might not, in your life, things could be way better, because we're also in the year of abundance. 2024 is the year of abundance. So it depends on where you are energetically is what is going to come at you, right? But again, if you're more grounded in yourself and you know where you're going and you have a really good sense of self and you have a good trust in the universe, then you're fine. You're fine. Now I'm like, okay, tone in, screw fear. F fear, like no more. Now is the time that I take charge of my life. I take charge of what I want out of my life, and I'm going forward. And nobody is going to get in my way of that, because I have a positive focus for myself and for my life and for my family. And that is the direction that I'm going. So I hope this video helped you. And if you're kind of going off the rails a little bit, that just so you know that you're not alone. Lots of people are going through it, and just got to get back to center. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.